2, 1, yo. What's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome. It's a good one because Arkansas, they got that dub. That's what happened. How about that, Hog fans? Beating Tennessee. It's been a while since Tennessee's been able to walk into Fayetteville and beat the Hogs. It's always a good feeling beating them. I don't know, call it like redemption for the Sterner fumble. I don't know what it is. Woo damn pig. Woo damn pig indeed. All right, guys, do me a favor. Like, comment if you have any questions or comments. Share the content. I'd really appreciate if you shared this across social media. That would be fantastic. Subscribe if you haven't already. And, yeah, check out all the links provided for you down below it's provided for you down below in the description box if you want to check out the links. The cigar is back. I always crack it out after that win. All right. YouTube has been acting a little funny. Okay, I'm way behind on chat. I like to start out with chat. Nick Yates says, woo pig. Woo pig indeed, sir. Woo pig indeed. Awesome game, says Randall Hunt. King Robert, woo pig suey. Our graphics team is awesome. Orange is sus. What's Among Us? Was that game? Is that Among Us? Is that the game? I'm here. Oh boy, I'm high. I'm still waiting to get the hell out of the ER. Go Hawks. Did we win? What? My chat is wild. Let's light this victory cigar up, shall we? I don't know. This is a different one. I bought this one. Gotta love it. Still gotta crack open my other beer too. Let's do that. I'm still sticking with the Shiner. That's what we're doing. You want? It's hard to do. Victory feels good. Victory always feels good. Feels great, baby. How you guys doing? I'm doing fantastic, as you can tell. Okay. A lot to discuss because this was ugly in the first half. There's no doubt that Arkansas in the first half, that was some of the worst football I've seen, but then you go back to what happened against Auburn in the first half. They do this a lot. They just get off to these slow starts, and they have such a hell of a time getting things figured out in the first half. You remember Auburn, it took them to like the end of the second quarter, and they started getting rhythm a little bit. And then they shut Auburn. They adjusted on defense. The adjustments come. I don't care what anybody says. They come in the second half, and I'm loving it. Hey, if you only play one solid half of football, it better be in the second half. Okay? I know everyone had a coach that said something like that. If you're going to play one great half of football, well, then it better be crunch time, baby. We better still be in this thing, and they were. They kept it respectable. People will say, well, Arkansas would lose if Tennessee's starting quarterback hadn't gone out. I don't think that's the case. That guy had 2+ quarters to put up more than 13 points. Couldn't do it. Could not do it. I'm convinced we're a top 5. We're top 5 in the SEC, says Mr. Marquise Visuals. Hey, you may not be wrong. I like what I'm seeing out of this team with the fight. It's incredible. Even SEC Network said they know what's up. That's 4-2. I know, it's 4-2, but like I said on Twitter, I'm going to go by what they want on that post because, you know what? Just because it's that chip on our shoulder, like, whatever. Jalen Catalon and Bumper Pool are both future first-round picks. Jalen Catalon has played great. I'll say that. Smoke it, Ty. That's what I'm doing. Good old Rocky flop. Tennessee fans have got to be upset. They went through the quarterback carousel there in the second half. They went with a true freshman. By the way, Harrison Bailey, top 3 rated pro passing quarterback out of high school, but he's a true fresh. Looked pretty good on that last drive, but I don't think they did a very good job explaining, and I don't know if I'm going to do much better, to be honest, there in that late drive. But what was happening was Arkansas was obviously dumping off on coverage, right? They're backing up. They're playing off the ball, way off the line of scrimmage, and they're going to force him to beat them deep. And you saw what happened. The result was he got picked off in the end zone eventually when they tried to shoot for the end zone. They were going to let him have those checkdowns. So he looks good on the stat sheet. Someone's going to go back to that and go, well, look at this kid. But they're going to allow him to do those dump-offs, especially when they don't resolve or dump the check-down throws, when they don't result in first downs. There's not a whole hell of a lot you could do. The clock's going to keep running. Arkansas was like, okay, do that. Do that, young fella, young 19-year-old freshman quarterback, and that's what they did. Played right into Arkansas's hands, ate up all that clock. They had like 8 seconds left in the game there inside the red zone. You knew nothing was going to happen. They got picked off. Catalan with yet another interception. I think that's 12 on the year for the defense. How many takeaways does this defense have? That's something I don't have in front of me. But no fly zone in that second quarter. They, in the first half, again, that was just typical first half Arkansas offense. Now, the third quarter was unbelievable. I don't have this. I don't have the quarter breakdown. Someone in my Hog Talk chat said that we had like 250 yards of offense in the second quarter or third quarter. Someone do me a favor and go verify that. Ty, enjoy the live post game. Well, I appreciate that, Cabo. Cabo, who is our latest member of the Hog Talk. Him and Keith, our graphics guy. You guys got to give loves to the Hog Talk guys. They're awesome. Shout out to all those guys. First time the offense really clicked. For the most part, they did in the second half. First half, they had a couple decent drives. Ty, why did the Vols quarterback think it was a good to fly through the air and land on his head? Cost him the game, didn't it? He went out with a concussion. Kelly Marie, no fly zone in the second quarter. Can we just use Traylon Smith at running back from now on? Traylon did really well. He played like he was shot out of a cannon, but Rakeem Boyd got some tough yardage. Rakeem Boyd got the tough yardage. But, yeah, they both played really well. How about them Hogs beating that Tennessee ass on Florida, onto Florida in time to cook some gator meat? I am eating an orange sucker, okay, and drinking Coors. Okay. Okay. I appreciate what you did there. You at Picture on Network. That pops up. It highlights on my screen because sometimes everybody's chat just kind of blends in together, and it's really hard. Guys, my vision, I'm not kidding you, it's not very good. And I don't like wearing my glasses because it gives me a headache. I don't know. Mom, Uncle Ty is drinking again, talking about bring on Bama. I'm not going that far. Oh. I got to bring it back. Hang on. How about them Hogs? Let's go on to the stat sheet really quick. Arkansas with the dub, 24-13. Harrison Bailey, who had the most successful game, but he didn't start for the Vols. Jarrett Garantano, I butcher that kid's name. 5 out of 8, 42 yards. Oh, yeah, he would have beat the Hogs. Yeah, sure he would have. 42 yards. He averaged 5.3 yards per completion. Brian Marrer. Brian Marrer, I thought it was Marin. I've never heard of him. 0 for 4. Bailey, by the way, threw 2 picks in the second half. Eric Gray, who looked really good for Tennessee. I really thought that run game would wear Arkansas down. It was really nervous to watch that in the first half. Really impressed. See, I got to keep puffing on it. $31 carries, 123 yards, 4 yards a carry. His longest run from the line of scrimmage, something that needs to be discussed, was 11 yards. It's so hard to get big plays on this defense. Say what you want about that 13-0 lead. Say what you want, no big plays. Didn't look good in the first half for Arkansas. They came back in the second half and just adjusted so well. The second half adjustments. Guys, they threw for 107 yards and had 185 yards on the ground with one touchdown. That's what Arkansas held Tennessee to. Josh Palmer, 2 catches, 28 yards. He's the guy that I was also a little bit concerned about. I really thought in that second half he would come out. Eric Gray, the guy that led them in rushing, had 3 catches for 27 yards. Gray could be a pain in your ass too. Their kicker, good grief, 50-yarder. Did you see him kick that 50-yarder? Like, that thing could have gone for 60+. What a kick. What a kick. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name. Brent Simglila. Simglia. Sounds like a really fancy beer. Or like an imported wine or something. Arkansas on offense. Felipe Franks, who got off to a really bad start. How many yards of offense did he have in the first half? Like, it's double-digit passing yards. He ends up 18-24, 215 with 3 touchdowns. Look, that's what he is. He's not a 310, 315 per game kind of quarterback. And this offense isn't really – that's not their thing. That's not Kendall Briles' thing. Now, I'm going to get into that in a second. His play calling, especially in the red zone in the first half, was atrocious. The guy gets in rhythm, running the ball, setting the outside edge a little bit, getting the north-south run game going, and then he just kind of flips on that. I don't know. But Franks, who I think, he's just a field commander, man. I mean, he finds a way. Treylon, who a lot of you are just absolutely in love with, 9 carries, 72 yards. Look, he averaged 8 yards a carry. He had the 23-yard run from the line of scrimmage. Rakeem Boyd, 19 carries, 65 yards. Devion Warren, who on that reverse, 2 runs, 41 yards. Felipe Franks ran the ball 14 times for a total of 18. Burks, your leading receiver, 5 catches, 95 yards for a touchdown. He had that 59-yard. What a play! That looked very similar to the Georgia game, if you guys remember that. The lone points in the first half against Georgia. Mike Woods, 3 for 64 and a touchdown. Blake Kern. Blake Kern. Hudson Henry, who was banged up. Once again, this kid, every week he's getting banged up. 3 catches, 16 yards. And Devion Warren, 1 for 8. I was really shocked that Devion Warren wasn't used more in the passing game. If I'm being honest, I was really shocked he wasn't used a little bit more, wasn't targeted more. I think he had like 3 targets on the night. But he had 1 catch for 8 yards. And Arkansas, of course, with the 2 picks. 2 picks. AJ Reed, 1 for 2 on his kicks, 48-yarder. He had a 48-yarder, and that looked like it could have gone a little bit further. He was 3 for 3 on extra points. Special teams still, you go back, was it the third quarter? When Arkansas, no, it was the fourth because they didn't punt. They came out in the third quarter and they went 3 for 3 on their first 3 drives. I think they only had 3 drives in the third quarter, and they all resulted in points. Night and day difference between the first 2 quarters and the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter. I don't know what the hell happened. When they did punt, maybe it was the fourth. No, maybe it was the first half. Anyways, it was the first half. He punts the ball, and the guys going down the field for the Razorbacks are going after the punt returner, and the guy, they all do this. Everyone does this, especially when they're backed up against the goal line or inside their 10 or back behind the 20. They act like they're going to catch the punt, right? They're going to field the punt. And they fall for it. They don't even pay attention in the ball. I mean, right there was a great chance to put Tennessee back, to push them back. Arkansas does not win. That's just not their game, apparently, and that's so disappointing. You think back to other times this year when they could have put someone in a bad position coming out on offense to start their drive, playing a little field position battle. They can't do it. Their punter's not super accurate. Sometimes, depending on who the hell's punting the ball, they have a decent leg. I cannot figure out, you're paying Scott Fountain, almost $500,000, and it's like nobody's coaching these guys. It's punt coverage 101 And I get that's a great job by that Tennessee punt return to act like he's fielding the ball. That was great. But you got to keep your head on a swivel on punt coverage. At least if you've got one guy on him, or if it didn't look like they had three players that were ready to, if he did field it, trying to get in his face, you've got that halo. You can't break the halo or else it's a penalty. But you had three guys there. I don't know why you don't send another one around, maybe just back behind him to make sure the ball isn't going behind. I don't know. But Arkansas, from what I have seen this year, what college football I've watched, they have the worst special teams. I think they have some of the worst special teams of anybody that I've watched this year. And I can't believe you're paying Scott Fountain almost $500,000 a year. Now, maybe I'm wrong on that. I looked it up on Wiki. Please don't quote me on that, but I think that's what he's getting paid. And I have a hard time accepting that he's worth it right now. Yeah. Woo damn pig, says Robert Ainsworth. Hey, Ty, that Tennessee kicker has one heck of a leg. He does. I'm telling you. I was impressed by that. Very impressed. Florida just made an elite defense look like John Chavis. Look at John Chavis defense. Yeah. 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 Talent, brother. Talent, says Ethan Malone. Look, you don't need talent. You don't need talent to know where a ball is going to land. You know that when you're rushing down the field, you don't need talent to realize this guy's not catching the damn ball. He's not fielding the ball. And they have cut down. There's not been a penalty in a couple of games on fourth down when special teams is on the field. And I'll give them that. Congratulations. The most basic thing, probably the rarest time to ever get penalties is when you're punting the ball. And Arkansas did that at least three times in the first few games. Congratulations. You finally got that down. You're doing the most basic ass thing and not getting penalized on fourth down when you try to punt the damn ball. Congrats. You can't, you can never, it's like they cannot play field position with this special teams. And then I don't know what's up with punt return, but it's like you just expect Arkansas to, they're going to start on average around their 20-yard line or behind it when the other team's going to average like the 40 or the 35. I just wish they could push them back a little bit more. Hey, Ty, Tennessee looked exactly like Arkansas last season. They really did. That's a good point. They did. In the second half, it's like, they showed up and played a wonderful first half. I mean, all the credit in the world. The coverage, or excuse me, the push they were getting up front on both sides of the line of scrimmage. You were getting, as I said it to a friend of mine on Marco Polo, you're just getting out-talented, outsized, out-depthed. That's not a word. But they were getting pushed around, couldn't get pressure, couldn't stop the north-south run game, which – I sat here and told you guys that worried me. That and them coming off a bye week. I'm going to say this. If I'm a Tennessee Volunteer fan, I am not happy with what I saw from the Vols coming out of a bye week. That was not. Burks for the Blitnikoff. He's got a ways to go. I mean, what has he got? 4 receiving touchdowns now? He's got a little ways to go. You got to put up them Donkey Kong numbers. The first season, Sam Pittman leaves Arkansas. They start to decline. Then the first season he gets to Georgia, they start to get good. Then leaves Georgia, and they start to decline. Gets to Arkansas, we get good again. Hey, maybe you're onto something, Bloodline. Look at you. When you're not making me blush, you're making good points. You're the only person, by the way, in our chat. In this chat, I've had a lot of people come through this chat. I've never blushed before in my life until you came on. Just imagine the pit boss. The pit boss had Tennessee talent. Yeah, Tennessee, who like back-to-back top 8 classes. I mean, Aaron the Backyard Chef. I love that name. How about that injury, quote unquote, on the Vols player? Pittman was ticked. That was ridiculous. I said this on the Hog Talk Hog Talk Facebook halftime. There is a way to stop that or to at least slow that down. And it's when that player does that, he's not allowed back on the field until the next possession. You don't kick him out for the quarter. You don't kick him out for the game. You just don't let him back in. Hey, injury protocols, right? We got to take injury serious. If he's really hurt, let's make sure he's okay. And he's not allowed. That's my, when you lose your helmet, you have to sit out the next play. Now, I kind of think that's ridiculous. I don't understand that rule. Kind of like the targeting rule, or when you lead with your helmet and you get flagged for that. I don't understand ejecting a player for an entire game. I think that's ridiculous. They've got some tweaking they need to do with that. Doug Stubbs, hey, Hog family, who pig suey? My steak dinner is going to taste so good. My Tennessee alum buddy was talking big for 8 minutes. Boy, they were on Twitter. I was watching. A play straight from the Auburn playbook. I could tell some stories from when you were a punk that would make you blush. I think I know who Ken H is. I think Ken H is my Uncle Kenny. How you doing, Kenny? Hope you're doing well. I was trying to smoke my cigar and it went out on me. Again, I don't puff on it enough. Nathan Espinoza, that was a joke. Oh, Sam isn't leaving. Was that the joke? I don't know. Notre Dame, Clemson tied at 33 with 22 seconds left in the fourth. Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on that game. I had the alerts turned on. Burks is first-round talent. I have said he's a freak of nature. He's an FON. Rakeem went live on Insta, and there was I don't know if I should allow that. I'm sorry. We are 4-1 now against the SEC. Tennessee O-line consisted of 5 stars and 1 4-star. They are loaded on the offensive line. Notre Dame versus Clemson in overtime. Clemson has first possession to start overtime. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. I'll just say this: take my final thoughts on what happened tonight. First half was atrocious. Offense looked just discombobulated. This team has yet to put together a full game. They have yet to really play a full game, a full 4-quarter game. I can't imagine what they're capable of doing if they could do that. I mean, look, I still think Florida I'm chalking up as an L. I don't like their odds. I don't think that's a secret. I told you guys that a little while back, especially after today. Are you kidding me? You're going to get some more wins. This was not the last win. I think we can all agree with that. I really like the way this team came out and responded in the second half. Felipe Franks, like I said, and some notes I had jotted down. This guy, 3 straight drives to start off the second half that resulted in points, gave you an 11-point lead going into the fourth quarter. That was the best single quarter of football, most complete quarter of football I've seen from them all year. And they've had other good quarters. That was a great quarter. I would like to see three quarters of that. You're still gonna win some games. Second half pass blocking was the worst that they've played, I think, in a single half, but it wasn't terrible overall. I think you got to give Arkansas like a B+. This was a great game for Arkansas. What a win! You're no longer just the team that beat Mississippi schools that might be just terrible. Well, we know Mississippi State's not good, but Ole Miss might be. Who knows what they do? Now it's like, yeah, we beat them and we beat a team out of the SEC East. You best put some spec on the Arkansas Razorbacks. What a game. You guys go out and celebrate responsibly, of course. And I will see you on Monday. Thanks again for those of you who are part of the Pig Trail Patreon. I love you so much. You guys are, you're rock stars. If you want to join the Patreon, that link is provided for you down below in the description box. If you don't want to do that, there is a PayPal. There is a PayPal, baby, that you can throw a little tip in the old tip jar if you want to do that. I will be celebrating irresponsibly, says Noah Carp. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Hog Talk Podcast, Mondays and Fridays. Go be a part of it. Remember, we're a part of the hitthatline.com lineup. Yep, the one and the same. Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft. Hey, we're moving up in the world. It's pretty great. All right, woo pig, and I'll see you guys next week. Be careful.